about you guys.
She has a different voice and a different understanding.
Hello, welcome to Offsite Dirt. Offsite Dirt is a media platform where we talk about all things offsite, meaning modular, volumetric, panelization, containers, and also high performance. We are all about building the conversation in the community in order for us to collectively understand what's kind of happening with this movement of offsite construction. Today, we have two people, a family-owned business that is in Central Illinois called Homeway Commercial. We have Brian and we have Bob. Hi, Brian. Hi, Bob. How are you today?
Hi.
Hello, thanks for having us on.
Thank you.
I'd love for you to tell me, I think I mess up the last name all the time. So how do you pronounce your last name?
Schieler.
Schieler. Yes, that's it. So we got Brian and Bob Schieler with Homeway Commercial, and I'm excited to have them because they are changing the way we do modular and volumetric construction. And because of that, we're seeing a company that has really grown in the industry. So Brian, we're going to start with you. I know that your manufacturing company has been around for 18 years. Can you give us a little bit of background on the company itself?
Sure. We've been around 18 years. Give you a little history here. My dad started the construction business. He was a stick builder for a long time, raised us boys in the stick building business. And about 23 years ago, we heard about this modular thing. Didn't even know what it was. We saw an article in a magazine. It kind of intrigued us a little bit. So we took a couple plant tours. And when we got out of there, we said to ourselves, boy, it's just like we do, only better. So we decided to start building a few modular homes. We bought them from a manufacturer, set them up and sold them. First year we did 10 modular homes. Second year we did 20. Third year we did 40. Fourth year we did 80. And then 3 years in a row, we built 100 modular homes each year. After that third year, the 100th home, we said to ourselves again, let's do this ourselves in our own factory and control our own future and our own quality. So that's what we did 18 years ago. We started this factory and we built thousands of homes. We've done probably 1,000 apartment units also. And so that's kind of our history. We have made a major shift in our focus in the last month. Last month, we announced to the world that we were getting out of the single family custom modular manufacturing business and going strictly to commercial or large projects such as apartments, student housing, hotels, housing developments, pretty much anything more than 50 modular units or more. That's what we're focused on now. So we're out of the single family custom home business.
It's hard to be in the custom home business because you're constantly changing your plan designs, your approvals, the way that the assembly line works. And I also want to acknowledge, Bob, I know that you are Brian's son. Can you just give us a brief background of what you do for the company?
Yeah, I'm vice president of sales. So I basically work with the clients and educating them on our process, the modular process, getting through them through the design of a building, whatever they're looking for, developing a specs, scope of work, and basically putting budget numbers together. Basically taking that those dreams that client has, and making it a reality. So that's exciting to me.
It is, and I love that. I love the way that Brian explained too, how you started this process. You started to realize that if I can control the product and the quality, we can really design something special. And I think it is so important, Bob, especially your role in the company, because I've worked and talked with lots of manufacturers that don't really explain the process of how modular works. And with your background, because I know that you guys were a general contractor and kind of using and moving all of these steps through, really gives you a greater understanding of experience and education for that client. Would you say that your clients really see that when you work with you?
Absolutely. They definitely see the value that we've been there, done that out in the field, as a manufacturer, we know those pain points, so to speak, and we can really help with that and take a lot of that stress off them and guide them through this process. Yep.
Yeah, I love that. I think it's wonderful. So Brian, would you like to share maybe any of your projects or kind of walk us through a couple of them that you guys have done in the past?
Sure, let me share my screen here. Okay, so you see that screen there?
I do, yes.
Okay, so this is just a little flavor of some of the projects we've done. This is a 3-story condo unit, more of a nautical look we did for a resort along a river a couple years ago. This one here is a student housing project over here on the right, if you see my cursor.
Yes.
It's a 5-story building. That's as high as you can go with wood. So, I think that's one of the things we bring to the table too as a manufacturer. We can build to any code. You just tell us what it is. So
And I love it. And I love that you're using wood frame as your driving force in your modules. And I think the other thing that really shows about your company is the diversity of what you're able to achieve with this type of building technology.
yes, we do student housing. A couple of these are student housing. This is a apartment, market rate apartment. So are these here on the left here. So we can do, again, big projects.
I love that. And is there any specific, how many modules that you guys can work with, or how many? I know that if you're doing wood frame, it's 5 stories or lower to be able to do that. But what was the largest project, or how many units you were able to achieve in one of your commercial buildings?
I think we had a 72 unit building was our
Beautiful.
biggest one. Yeah.
Yeah, that's nice.
And so moving on here, our service area is basically the United States, but just kind of show you where we're located. We're central Illinois here. So we can reach this big circle here and maybe even beyond. And we had some calls from California the other day and Oregon. So we're not afraid to go there. But within this circle, we think there's enough business here to keep us busy and service our customers well.
I completely agree with you. And I do see that you have a large service area, and I do think that that is something to keep in mind. But from my perspective, anything over 500 miles, you really kind of are a little bit more challenged, because the cost to being able to build and the transportation is really, really exorbitant right now. Are you seeing the same thing?
We are, however, we are pricing very aggressively, and in some of these hot markets out west, Colorado, Texas, the transportation has not been uncompetitive. I'll say it like that. So we feel like we can go that far and still be very competitive with our system.
That's great. That's very unusual to hear. And I'm glad to hear that you guys have figured that out, because that's always one of the principles, at Modular SureSite, my other company, is really trying to keep those costs in alignment. And I think with your experience and being the general contractor and explaining the building system and how it comes together is a great benefit of what you guys offer at Homeway Commercial.
Well, I think too, Bob mentioned about us being former general contractors, so we've been out there and done that. And I think that's what some of the things that we bring to the table, in that we are not just concerned about what that mod looks like when it leaves our door. Our objective is that everybody all the way through has a positive experience. And so we're very focused on helping that general contractor on site, wherever it is, make sure that his subs knows what they're doing, so that everything fits well and goes together well. So that we do another one for them.
I agree. And I think the other great asset, and Bob knows this, it's all about your pre-construction team, right?
Yeah.
Being able to bring all of your engineers together, making sure, you as a manufacturing, knowing what your capabilities are and how quickly you can get through your systems in order to build that product.
Exactly. We take, plans from scratch a lot of times, or somebody brings us a plan and we'll modularize it. We'll make it, we'll value engineer it to fit our system, and put a lot of customization in it too.
I love it. So what other slides do you have to show us today?
Okay, so this is our construction facility,
Beautiful.
outside picture of it in Deer Creek, Illinois. We're right in central Illinois, right between Peoria and Bloomington. So
Yep.
we've got good transportation on all directions from where we're at here. This is a shot on the inside of our factory, built-in mods going down the line.
So I like that, particularly, to point out that you're 16 feet wide, 72 feet long, and 12 inches tall. And the 16 feet wide, when you are shipping a product of that size, do you have to have additional help with other cars, like the cars that are going down before the mods, or can you get this type of product through Illinois channels with the width of the product?
Yeah, we've not run into problem anywhere.
With
running
transportation.
16 No.
Oh,
running
that's
16-foot
wonderful.
mods, yeah.
I love it.
And here's
Beautiful.
just some more close-up picture of this. Yeah, that's overlooking the Mississippi River here down in Moline. There's another picture of these units. And here's some bullet points here again. 17 coming on 18 years modular manufacturer. So we've got a lot of history and a lot of experience. Fact that we're been around that long, got a lot of satisfied customers, and we tried to build that on trust and integrity. Number one priority is quality. We want to bring value to our customers so that they have a good, solid building that will last a long time. Value, we're always aggressive in pricing. We want to keep the factory busy. And so we try to really hone down in on products and not cheap products, but just buy them in volume, and our work processes. We're a lean manufacturer, so we got our guys on the floor, which most of them have many years of experience with us, so that we don't have to reinvent the wheel training all the time. So that's really what separates the men from the boys, is when you have a trained workforce, which I think we do. And our capacity, the more modular we can do, the more value it brings to the product. We can lower our prices with volume. And again, we're centrally located.
I love that. So let's dig into a little bit of the conversation that you talked about, because a lot of our audience may not know about this, but it is very rare to be able to produce 10 modules a week. I think that's a really great explanation as to how you're able to provide more service and higher quality and value for your clients. And can you talk just briefly, and I know this wasn't one of our talking points, but I think this is really very important, because we're starting to see more and more factories open, and we're starting to see more and more developers actually opening and self-fulfilling with their own projects, because there is such a high demand for modular and housing and commercial building. But your lean manufacturing, what does that really mean? What does that mean, Brian, to have lean manufacturing a product that way?
Right. Well, that means that we engage all of our employees, even myself, in lean thinking, which means to not just do it faster, but to do it to not make any waste, to eliminate waste. Okay. Generally speaking, all of our people are to memorize the 8 wastes in manufacturing and try to eliminate them. So they're always thinking, how can I save a step? How can I save a process? And we don't let them do it just willy-nilly. They've got to prove it to us that it is going to save time. So everything on our factory floor has a process, and nobody breaks that until we improve it. So I guess one of my main points here is that everybody on the factory floor is thinking of how can I improve today from yesterday. So
I love it.
That's lean manufacturing.
It is. And I think that those principles are becoming more and more aware. Obviously, they started in Japan. They started with, I think Toyota may have started those processes.
Right.
And then there's been other industry leaders that have also followed those principles. And obviously, there's a reason for it, right? Less material waste makes another benefit, not only for our environment, for the person that's actually in the company that's working with you.
exactly. You know, you take like, for example, everybody on our factory floor has a mobile device on it. It's their own cell phone, and it has, we've even created our own Homeway app that has all the plans, their specs, their checklist. They record every hour on every task they do. So at the end of the job, we know how much labor that particular job took, so that we're not guessing when we're bidding jobs in the future. We know how much that took. It also lets us know where we have an employee that could improve his time. So all these technologies we brought to the system to help us reduce our price and our cost.
Big deal there.
Yeah.
And Bob, I would love your perspective, bringing technology into volumetric. How has that changed your company?
I'd say it's tremendous positive change in the company. People can see, and very transparent with our data, and helps their jobs be more less stress into the company, and the prints and from the draftsman to the shop. So we're really excited about, as we keep on improving daily and year by year, where this is going, and how it helps even newcomers come in, some young people, and they're integrating technology in different ways, but they're excited to, in this construction industry space, to bring technology. That's something pretty new, and they're excited to carry on here.
Yeah, and before we got on our interview, I was talking to Brian, and you guys are using BIM, which is building integration modeling. Is that right?
Right.
Where have you seen that really help with your design build process?
Well, all the plans that our drafts people draw on BIM goes out to the factory floor, and it lets them know where every piece of material goes, so that they don't have to waste any time figuring it out. So
right. Yeah, I love that. And I think that's super smart. And we are seeing that as a trend in the industry, that using these technologies are only making our assemblies more efficient. So using lean manufacturing principles, absolutely, I think is a very big plus for you guys. I love that you're able to have 10 modules done weekly. That means that you're really moving efficiently through your line. I love that you are also went from single family and now moving into multifamily, because we both know that that is the one segment of the industry that is expanding the most. Are you seeing the same with the projects that are coming into your factory, that moving into commercial has been a big plus for your business?
it really has. Ever since we announced this, we have just seen an explosion of interest, many calls a week virtually, of developers wanting, 50 unit multifamilies, 300 unit multifamily projects. We're really busy on the designing and pricing side, and we expect that to result in a line full of mods.
Absolutely. I think so too. And I'm really happy to hear that you are going into that space, because we do need more density. We need more homes. We need more apartments. We need more abilities to house more people, because we are at a huge deficit. Over 5 million homes are needed today just to fulfill what is projected right now.
That's right. And modular isn't going to solve the whole problem, but it will help more in a percentage wise than stick building can, because we can build them faster.
I agree with you. I agree with you. So what is the plans in the future for Homeway? I know that you guys are making these big leaps and jumps. Do you think that maybe you might open another facility or expand your facility that you have right now?
Well, Bob here's my sales manager, and my other son is a production manager. So we're, again, that family business, and I'm getting old enough now where I think if that ever happens, I'll let them make that decision. But no, we don't have any plans for a second operation right now.
Okay. Well, I know you're going to get there, because you're doing something so right to be in the industry for 18 years, to shift from single family and now do multifamily and commercial. There is such a great need. I am so honored to have both of you here. Thank you so much.
Well, thank you,
You're welcome.
Audrey, for
Thanks for
inviting
having
us
us.
and appreciate it.
Thank you. And thank you for another episode of Offsite Dirt. This is the Offsite Dirt construction series where we get to meet CEOs and we get to meet a vice president of a modular volumetric factory. Homewaycommercial.com is how you reach them. Thank you both for being here, and we look forward to your success and seeing more of these great developments across the country.
Thank you.
Thank you.